Why, hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we are serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my gaggle of gals. We have...
Hey guys, Justin Hareld here.
And I'm Araceli Aviles.
And Mr. Michael Mattis is on hiatus, y'all. He is out and about doing wonderful holiday Christmas things and will not be back with us until next year. But until then, we shout him out and say, hello, Lumberjack Mike. Hope you're doing swell. But for those of you that want to follow us on all social media platforms, we are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and no underscore Dishin Days. It's just Dishin Days on Twitter. Right. Oh my God, I reverted back to the old ways. Also, make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel. We are Dishin Days on YouTube. If you're watching us live, go ahead and click that subscribe button or that bell notification. That way you will never miss when we're going live and in living color. You can also take us along on your favorite podcast station. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Just simply type in Dishin Days and take us along that long road trip or that windy hike or on that long treadmill walk, or if you're at the gym pumping iron, or just in your car sitting in traffic. You can listen to a little bit of Dishin Days. Also, make sure you buy merch. We are at dishindays.threadless.com. That's dishindays.threadless.com. The holidays are among us and are around us. So if you would like to get yourself some exclusive Dishin Days merch, you can check it out right here. We've got our Meliswin logo, Possessed, our official Dishin Days logo, or serve up a full dish if you'd like. So make sure you go to dishindays.threadless.com and get yourself some merch today. Also, for your full soap opera fix, head on over to My Chocolate Twin, JLJ Media on YouTube. That's JLJ Media on YouTube to hear a full breakdown of Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and General Hospital, along with some amazing, wonderful audio original dramas. That's right. He took us back to how soap operas began on audio. So check him out. James Law Jr. on JLJ Media on YouTube. Now that we've gotten through all those church announcements, seems like it takes 12 years for that. What did you guys think of this week's episodes of Days?
It was okay. It was like a catch-up week, kind of, or / info week, as we call it. But I did notice we got a lot of people, though. Like, I feel like when they do these weeks, they stretch it out. So we're catching up with all sort of different people and what they were up to and that sort of thing. So I kind of like that, but yeah, not terribly exciting this week, but
no, just like, little things here and there. I literally finished watching the week and I text y'all and I was just like,
I know. Yeah.
Like there was a moment where I wanted to be like, you know what, y'all? I think this week we can just not do the show. We'll just
that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for that follow-up text.
But I felt like it was already in deep. Like, we had already figured it out and all that.
Yeah, and we're going to be on hiatus for I feel
for a few
there's going to be a lot of stuff is going to happen when we're on hiatus.
Probably. That's when everything's going to hit the fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's break it on down.
The pause.
I'm ready.
It is now time to start
Dishin Days. Really? Really? You two? Really?
See, you went on the first nod. The nods were the count of like one.
Oh, God.
Dishin Days. Okay.
Take two.
It is now time to start Dishin Days.
Oh, I think Tony and I were perfectly in sync that time.
I think so. It's always Justin. You know what? Maybe one of those books behind him can tell him how to be in sync. All right, let's kick things off, everybody, with the first storyline, which is Nicole, Eric, Jada, Rafe, Sloane, Belle, Sean, and EJ. What a mess.
Yeah.
What a capital MESS. My first thought was, y'all did all this to only still have Nicole and Eric not be together. That girl has okay. So let's recap what happened so far. So Eric and Nicole said, "Hey, we still got love for each other, right?" So then with that, Nicole goes over and says, "Hey, Rafe, sorry, like I loved you. However, I still got love for Eric, and I want to be with Eric. So thank you, but no thank you." Meanwhile, Eric is about to tell Jada, "Hey, girl, I know we just started dating, but you know." I still got love for my Cole, for my Cole, my Nicole. And but Jada said, Jada's like, listen, like I know, because like I saw y'all kissing and stuff, but guess what? Pregnant. And Eric is like, oh, snap. Okay, well, I'm gonna be a good father. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Now Nicole is looking at Jada like, nah, baby, you're not about to mess up my happy ending. You're not about to do that. So she's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to co-parent? Are you sure this is going to be the right decision? Are you sure? And Jada's like, you know what, girl, you are right. I am not trying to be a single mama out here in these streets. I'm not trying to do that. I am not here for that. I got a job. And you know what? I'm going to cut ties. And then Jada goes to Eric and is like, boo boo, no pregnancy, no more. To which Eric is like, Nicole, what did you say to Jada? And then everybody gets drunk. And then that brings us to this week. And it's like, that's a lot to go through when you think that you're going through all this to bring this couple together. What do y'all think?
Okay, I have to ask you, Tony, because last week we talked about this. What do you think of the Nicole bit of her going to Jada?
Yeah.
We definitely sort of...
Yeah, I made my thoughts very clear on that.
What were your thoughts?
We were like,
I didn't watch the show.
That Nicole had no business doing what she did. That Jada is a grown-ass woman who can make her own decisions, but Nicole should mind her own business, and that's the next version of what I said.
Yeah, she was like dead wrong.
I feel like Nicole should have stayed in her lane. There was no reason for her to discuss Jada's pregnancy with Jada. While not the intent, I think it was the that went off in Jada's head after the conversation that made her decide to have an abortion. Did you all talk about your feelings on Jada having the abortion and without telling Eric?
We didn't. I don't know if we got into that really.
Yeah, we did a little
Eric's
bit.
Reaction.
Yeah. I mean, I acknowledge that Jada's body, her decision, and if she felt that was the right choice for her, then she has every right to make that choice, with or without Eric. Do I think a little heads up would have been nice? Maybe.
Yeah.
But we also talked about too how last week was like the most exciting because in far as this storyline goes, because every week we're like, oh, we see the writing on the wall. So to have like this sort of curveball thrown in was at least made it interesting, I guess. And we also talked about like there was a lot of nuance there where we felt like Nicole didn't go over there with the intention, like a mustache twirling villain, like I'm going to convince her to have an abortion. But it was sort of possibly like unintentional. But then also Jada's take on it was, I did hear what Nicole had to say, but I ultimately made up my own mind. So she wasn't exactly blaming Nicole, but she said she did take what she said into consideration. So it wasn't like, it wasn't painting it as Nicole is the devil kind of a thing, even though we're getting Eric's sort of reaction of it. and he's of course is sort of fed up with her, but not, you know, it just wasn't done out of malice, I guess we're saying.
It was done out of selfishness, and that's the part that Eric can't get over.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this. You know, I agree that yes, it is a woman's choice to do what she should with her body. However, I think out of respect for a man who wanted to be a part of this kid's life, that a conversation should have been had before a decision was made. Had he wanted nothing to do with the pregnancy, had the pregnancy come out of any other like sort of situation that maybe didn't require any sort of conversation, I can see that, her making that decision on her own. But to do that without having a conversation with Eric, especially when he was super excited, I'm kind of like, Jada girl, like you should have had that conversation. But I will say what I 100% appreciate about the character of Jada is that she is 100, period. Yeah. She is the only character that I feel like that we've had in a while that actually is just very truthful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's no secret. There's no like playing games. There's no anything. Like she is authentic. She's genuine. She's real. She's honest. Like, and it's refreshing because this whole time I thought, oh, she's going to act like she's pregnant. Just to like mess with, just to mess with Nicole and Eric. And then, but when she was like, I had an abortion, and she was even like, yeah, Nicole came over. But like she made the decision. Like she didn't even blame it on Nicole. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So there were a lot of moments where I felt like they could have done classic soap opera moments and like kind of made Jada go, but they have kept her real and honest, and like I live for that. I like that.
And at the same time, she's not letting Nicole off the hook. You know, she's taking ownership of her decision, but she's not necessarily letting Nicole off the hook and saying, you know, that Nicole is not a selfish person. She acknowledges that when she came over, Nicole's intentions were 100% selfish. Yeah. And she and Rafe kind of bonded over that. And it's kind of like, yeah, she's 100. That doesn't mean she's going to be 100% kind about it.
Right.
She's like, you're a petty person. You're a selfish person. I'm going to call you as I see you.
Yeah. 100. But it's like, I don't know. Like, it's like I was watching everything unfold with both Nicole and Eric getting drunk. And then, of course, you know, EJ, you know, still drinking because of the death of Susan. And then Nicole and EJ kind of getting together. But thankfully, like, no sex. They ain't have no sex.
Yeah, that was a fake out. Yeah.
Araceli, I'm glad that I think you caught that.
What?
Never mind. Maybe you didn't. The way I said they didn't have no sex.
Is that an Araceli?
No, that was I thought she got that it was from a meme, a video or something, because she kind of laughed and well, you know what?
No, I guess.
So yeah.
Well, whatever. Now, great. Now I look stupid. Anyway.
Okay, can we talk about Eric being drunk from that one shot of whiskey?
Yeah, that.
Everyone was like, "You're drunk. You drove drunk." I was like, "Wait, did we?" I like went back and was like, "Did I miss the scene where he like took the bottle?" Like I thought it was like the Lucas thing where he took the bottle. I was like, "No, he literally had one shot and they're playing up the." I don't know. I understand.
The drinking in itself is not a big deal. No, he had one drink. It's not a big deal. He's not an alcoholic. The issue is that he had a drink while he was angry and then chose to drive. I don't think he drove drunk. I think he drove angry, which is unfortunate, which is just as bad.
Eric is always angry. I saw the writings on the wall when he walked in last week and was like, "What did you say to Jada?" But here's the thing, and I know that my mom is watching, but listen, I'm grown. And I rarely drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one shot or one drink can do it.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, it has to do with your body weight and if you're not responsibly drinking water and stuff.
Listen, I am not skinny by any means, although I look very fit.
But we're grown.
Yes,
by this point we know how to kind of like drink responsibly ish, where we're not like these kids who go to keggers or like get like the cheap booze and stuff. We know how to regulate ourselves, and you get to know your own body.
So both Laurel CL and Tim Rowell kind of say the same thing. Is like, so he hasn't drank since he drank that one time and killed Dan. Right? So then the tolerance is low. Yeah. So that one shot of whiskey probably got him to a get right place, right? But it was just like, and everyone's like, "You drove drunk." I'm like, "Listen, he might be a little, but he's not like I don't know,
yeah, it was more like 70% anger, like 30% alcohol. Then I just felt like their reaction. I felt like their reaction to him being angry was like, "You must be drunk," and it was like, no, he's really just pissed off, and like all of this stuff is coming towards him. And he took one drink, but that's not the anger is the real issue about how his life is falling apart. Essentially,
and I mean, listen, he's been hit with a ton, right? Like, the end of his relationship with Jada, the baby, Nicole, like everything is hitting him like a ton of bricks, right? But everything came to a head at the bar between him and but the thing about it is, I hate to say it, he had it coming because EJ kept poking at him, and I'm like EJ, like you're drunk, Nicole's tipsy, Eric, you know what I mean? So it's just like it was a lot, and then for EJ to press charges and Nicole kind of be like, "I agree." I'm like, all y'all doing the most.
Well, EJ's just being EJ. EJ's just being EJ. But I'm sorry, Nicole being the victim in this situation, no, you are no victim. Every single step of the way of this situation has been because of a result of a choice that you made. Everybody else kind of had to be dragged along into this, but it was ultimately because of Nicole's decisions, her decision to marry Rafe when Eric came to town, her decision to continuously deny her feelings, her decision to try to break up with Rafe and then get together with Eric on the same day, and her decision to go to Jada's hotel room when she had no business going to that room and getting in her business.
Right. That point blank period.
I'll say this. One thing I did like though, even though we're talking about how Nicole was wrong for the Jada thing and everything, I will say I liked the conversations that we've been getting from them the past 2 weeks about them being honest about their relationship. And I gotta say, I felt like those conversations were very even keeled. It wasn't, Nicole, you're the bad person, you did this. I also thought she had some good points about Eric and their past relationship and stuff like that. So I felt like at least that's why I said, like, we talked about this last week too, about it being really nuanced. Like, it's not just Nicole, you're the bad person and that's it. There's some other stuff here, and you sort of get Nicole's, not that I was saying her excuse as to why she went over there with Jada, but I understand her point a little more the more she started talking about their relationship and issues about him with trust and are you going to stick around? Are we actually going to do this again? And how easy and how much of a flake sometimes Eric is. And watching that, I was like, actually, she's got some good points. Like, as angry as I am about her, about the Jada thing, like, she's got some points here.
Well, because that's his Eric. The same reason why they broke up the first time was mainly because of Eric's reaction. Yes, yes, Nicole did what she did, and we've talked about this. Yes, she did what she did, but at the same time, Eric left and was not in communication, did it, and all this kind of stuff. And this woman, made a mistake, yeah, but it was his reaction to everything. You can be upset, but not right off the bat at 100. Which is what Eric is. And again, he did the same thing here. He could have just came to her and said, "What exactly did you say to Jada?" Well, she aborted the baby. That wasn't my intent, Eric. You know Nicole well enough to know whether that was her intent or not.
Yeah.
And then y'all could have worked it out from then. And then y'all could have rolled into the sunset because y'all already did a lot in order to get to this point.
Right.
Well,
but what a mess.
But I think it goes both ways in that. And I think this time it's also that Nicole didn't trust that her love for Eric would be enough. Before, it was all on Eric. He totally went to 100 and then just skipped out. This time, she didn't trust that their love would be enough, and she made a decision that she knew was going to affect him. Even if Jada didn't abort the baby, he would have heard about the conversation later on, and that would have affected their relationship regardless.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't know what else to say about them. Like, it's just a lot to. I will stand by. It's a lot. To
we
put them
can
through
talk
in order
about
for them not to be together.
Well, there's the one person that I don't agree with Eric pushing everyone away because everyone didn't wrong him. He literally took a cheap shot at Sean
and Belle.
And Belle, even cheaper shot at Belle, totally uncalled for.
Well, he took a shot at Sean.
He took a shot at Sean, and he took a really below the belt view on Belle, and then it just went downhill from there. Hiring Sloane.
Yeah, how do we feel about that?
Oof.
Well, listen, kudos to them keeping this character around.
Yeah.
Because when Slytherin Sloane came into Salem, we didn't know. Honestly, I was just like, oh, she's just one of Alex's things, right? Little bump in the nights. But then when they made her a lawyer, and then wait, what was the first case that she had? Oh, with Leo.
Yeah.
Leo stuff. Leo Gwen.
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, they're extending her. And then the thing with Paulina, I'm like, oh, they really extending her.
Yeah.
And then, but because I don't think we really talked about this. Do we like Sloane? Do we like her as an addition to the show? Do we not? Like, how do we feel?
She's warming on me. And I feel like the only reason I would be okay with her, a pairing with her and Eric, is because it seems like she has backed herself into a corner of her pity party, not willing to acknowledge that her parents were flawed. In her mind, her parents are dead. Her parents were angels. This deceitful young thing is solely responsible for the trauma to her family, and her parents take no responsibility in that. So she's backed herself into a corner where she's getting no sympathy from anyone. She's getting revenge, but she's getting no sympathy from anyone in this situation. Enter Eric, who is throwing his own pity party and is now pushing people away.
I like Sloane. I've always liked the character from the beginning. The stuff with Chanel, I'm not crazy about, for the reasons Araceli just mentioned. I don't know how I feel about the Eric thing, though. We'll see. I don't know if this is like...
Well, we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Oh. Is it? Okay. I thought it was part of this.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Her and Eric.
At the end of the week, they did go over to her house.
I'm talking about just them together. I mean, I'm talking about them in scenes together and him sort of kind of taking her side, essentially.
Yeah. At the very least, sympathizing.
Yeah.
I think with the storyline with that involves Chanel and Paulina, I feel like it's none of your business alone, because you will never know the full story. You'll never know what your father felt for Chanel. You'll never know what happened between Chanel and your mother on that rooftop. You will not know. So for you to seek revenge for your mom's death, because your dad finally admitted to this affair on his deathbed, to me, it's just kind of like, you're going to have to make peace with that and then just let that go. Because there's no reason to wreak havoc on these people's lives. Now, I get it, because with this, we now have a lot that has transpired, and we will get into that. But I think everyone's in she's warming up to us kind of a phase. Like it's kind of like, oh, you know what? This person puts it best. I love Sloane. She's like a Victoria's Secret model. Elle Woods and Regina George all had a baby, which you know what? You have hit the nail on the head. It's like I don't know. Oh, thank you, Kristen. He said that his wife's death was no suicide and then died. Yes. So So yeah, I think I like the character of Sloane. I think she breathes new air into Salem that is much needed. And she's interesting. She's like if I had to put her like with an OG character, she feels very much like a cross between Kate and Sammy. Not as strong as a Kate, but not as weak as a Sammy.
OG. OG Sammy.
Yes.
Sammy grew into her ambitions.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? So yeah, but this week when because Sloane is obviously there's going to be, like Justin mentioned, something with Eric and Sloane. It's going to be interesting to see how people react to that, because I think everyone was looking forward to Nicole and Eric getting back together. Do y'all think eventually?
Who's everyone? Who are these everyone people? Not me.
Them. Not, well, I don't think any of us.
No.
If you could pair Nicole with someone else other than Eric and Rafe, obviously, who do you think would best fit with Nicole?
Well, here's the thing. There's a limited number of people on the canvas, so that becomes very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad that Eric, and we got a lot talk about him this week, that Nicole and Daniel never really got to that relationship. We didn't get to see really develop as much as we could have, because he died so suddenly. Mm-hmm. And selfishly, we know that, Sean and Ari are together, so it'd be nice to see them together. I feel like in the year that followed them killing off Daniel, we got a lot more of what Nicole and Daniel's relationship was like, because we found out that they were going through the surrogacy process. They were invested in handling a family together. I feel like we found out a lot after the fact, but when they were together on the canvas, it was kind of short.
But who currently would you put Nicole with?
Oh, no one. Nicole, no. Clearly, this is one of those. I said it last year about Chloe, and I still say it to this year about Nicole. It's okay to be single.
Okay.
It really is.
I like her with EJ. I feel like when they don't make her a foil for Sammy and EJ, they're really good together. And I think they equally match up in an interesting way. So I'm only when we saw them a few months, 6 months ago, whatever, when they had that little thing there, we liked them then. So yeah, I like them as a couple when again they don't make Nicole's second choice to Sammy.
And they had such sweet moments like laying in the bed. And you know, I like that. Like it was just very, and even at the bar, it was just this mutual understanding of each other and the history that they have with each other, and just reaching out to one another. And then the next morning, EJ coming in with Meemaw's hangover cure, and then like sipping and all this kind of stuff. So I liked all that. Side note, I don't know if anyone else does this. And this is going to sound very strange, but so when EJ got in bed, right? He didn't have slippers on. He just had his feet up, right? And the one thing I did was I looked to make sure that they were still clean, because the one thing I hate is when someone does anything that involves bare feet and they show their feet like that and like it's dirty. Does anyone else do that, or is that just me?
Kind of, I guess, yeah.
Like you just kind of look like, are they clean?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
No,
it's not the first thing that really comes to my mind. I guess general cleanliness, I'm hoping, is assumed.
Well, because sometimes you don't know if if they walk to set just like with or maybe they were walking around because they were rehearsing, and then they're like, okay, let's actually shoot it, and then all of a sudden they laying in bed, feet propped up and it's dirty, and then you're gonna be like,
yeah.
So someone can say cut and like clean you, like you can wear socks for like.
That's more how I think it too. It's more of like, is the actor like walking around set barefoot the whole scene, or are they like getting like are they standing on like a rug or a mat or something before the scene? Yeah, that's where my mind goes with it.
These are never things I'm thinking of unless I'm actually on set working as a PA.
Right. So since some comments are coming in, because they're like, what's with the foot fetish? It's not a foot fetish.
Yeah.
It is being observant. It's just one of those things that when someone is showing their feet like that, I just always hope that they're clean.
It's an appreciation of cleanliness.
Yeah.
That's it. Because then if they're dirty, then that's all I'm gonna think about the whole entire time is why did no one not notice that?
Yeah. Who wants to send this conversation to Dan?
The realization of
I know what you're thinking.
The realization of Dan getting the clip of this and just getting a reply back of like, they're always clean or something like that. And me just going, but you know what? For the past 7 years I've been doing this show, I said what I said and I mean what I say, and I'll always mean what I say. Period.
Okay.
But now y'all are going to be noticing it too.
Get your pedicures.
Just saying.
Moving on.
Let's just move on. Yes.
Anywho, I'm trying to think of it, and that's pretty much it with that storyline, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think so. Yeah.
It's just going to be interesting to see where things go. I actually really thought that they did have sex, and I was just like, oh boy, she really does mess up. But it was just a
dream,
I
thought we were going to get that too.
Anywho, moving right along. Let's go. I feel bad because now I have everyone talking about dance feet. Let's move on to Chanel, Paulina, Sloane, Ali, and Abe. I'm going to also include Trask in this.
Okay.
Can somebody please just give Trask something else?
Win. I know. Give her a petty criminal or something to prosecute.
Something. Because
oh god.
Because it's just like she just wants to. It's almost like she has a vendetta against a Brady, a Horton, a Demera, and anyone who's in a Carver, whoever is involved.
You mean like, everybody who's gone away with crimes?
Pretty much. Like, she's like, listen, y'all don't run this town. I do. And if you did it, even if you steal a piece of lint from a store, I'm taking you down. Like, that's how it just always feels. Like, and I'm just like,
yeah.
So even with the whole with Eric going to jail and EJ being like, I'm gonna drop the charges. And her still being like, nope, still gonna get him for assaulting an officer. And it's like, girl.
Yeah.
You have a whole murder case to think about. Let this man just be like, don't do that again. Go home. Bye. But whatever. Oh, someone just said this. Can you imagine D.A. Trask as governor?
Lord have mercy, but at least it'd be something else.
Gross. Well, that's true. Do you guys? What did you guys think of the decision of the city council wanting Abe to step down as mayor, and Paulina's decision to not be sworn in as governor?
Finally, a good idea.
I kind of saw
it. Araceli, you didn't waste no. I think that's a good idea.
No, a good idea that Paulina shut it down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw this coming. I think this is going to be her loss, so to speak. I don't think she's going to go to jail. I don't think she's going to get jail time. I think this is going to be the consequence of her hand in whatever she did. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, unless they were going to have Jack A on every once or explain how she was going to be governor in Salem or, however they were going to work that out, it sort of puts an end to that. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
I mean, I feel like it didn't make sense for the city council to ask Abe to step down because even though he's like married to Paulina and like she's going through this has nothing to do with him.
It's all optics. It's not just Paulina. It's I hate to say it, but it's the Lonnie of it all.
It's now another thing. It's like another family member of yours is a crook or a criminal or murderer or something like
But he's not.
No, he's not. But the whole thing is that Abe is, and think about it, Abe's been mayor for a decade now. That's a long time to hold that position. And he got that position by being above reproach. And that's how he's held on to it, because he's trustworthy. He's Abe. And now
Honest Abe.
He is Honest Abe. And now all of a sudden, his daughter's in prison, his wife's getting arrested, his stepdaughter's arrested. Again, yes, rationally, yes, they were standing up for themselves in each situation. They were trying to stand up for themselves, to protect their family. Yes, rationally, we know that. But this is politics, which is all about optics, which Paulina should have known.
Yeah.
It ain't about what it is. And I kind of had to roll my eyes when she said, but that's not the truth. I'm like, the truth doesn't matter. It's politics. It's about optics.
Yeah.
Which is why you were trying to squash it in the first place.
And for those asking about the Cass Winthrop reference, that was another world reference, but it was also a Jack A reference. She used to be on another world. That was her best friend, Cass Winthrop, who, for those Another World fans, that was like a little Easter egg that sent people.
That Michael Mattis would have hated.
I was just going to say.
Everyone was like, oh, what's the name? The actor coming to Days? Are they casting him? And it was just like this thing. It was like, no, they just sort of used it as a reference. But as far as we know, the actor who played Cass is not coming to Days of Our Lives. I don't know if this will inspire something like the Jack A thing did. It would be nice to see them together again, because they were sort of like best friends in the early days of Another World. So it could be cute, but no. So far it was just a little Easter egg.
Yeah. Who I'm trying to did some. Who wrote "Murderer" on Sweet Bits?
Probably a random person.
They didn't say. It was sort of implied. Either Sloane says she didn't do it, but I don't know if she got someone to do it or if it was just a coincidence.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. But they sort of left it open ended. I don't think they definitively said if she was involved or not. It was more like
Well, they won't come back to it. Well, I mean, and that's pretty much it with that storyline. Like, I mean, again, not a lot, but it's just, the Paulina being in jail and talking to Eric, that was cute. Hey, handsome.
Yeah, that was cute.
What you got? What they got you in for? Do. But I'm curious to see like how that does play out though. Like, will Chanel get off? Will what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So all right. So let's now talk about Lee, Gabby, Wendy, Johnny, Stefan, and EJ. Johnny and Wendy, if y'all can't hold water, then don't ask for it.
Yeah.
This whole Gabby.
I know this is.
It's like if you gonna tell it, tell it. If you gonna keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. Like y'all can't keep because now for the next few weeks, for the next 20 days, guess what we're gonna see?
Yeah.
Johnny. Wendy. Are you changing your mind, Johnny? Do you think we should tell them? But she sees me like a sister. Johnny. I don't want to see that for the next 20 days of them doing that.
See, this is I've been saying my issue with the storyline is there's sort of motivations here, and it's still not working for me. And it's becoming clear now that we're seeing this week with them and talking with EJ and talking with Lee. And like I said, the stuff with Gabby, because you're keeping that secret, you are now actively a part of it, and you are betraying Gabby, who your friend, she's friends with Johnny. She's trying to develop this close relationship with Wendy. It's like now you're part of the fallout. You're part of the cover up. You might as well have been in on it since the beginning. Now, probably as far as Gabby's going to be concerned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was just sad because it's like for the first time, Gabby has not done anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been since we've been able to say that?
A couple of weddings ago.
And also, she has no one on her side. I was thinking, like, when they were doing the thing with Wendy about the maid of honor, it was like, you're right. Outside of, like, the frenemy thing with Abigail, like, we haven't, Will's not around, really. Sonny's kind of doing his own thing. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, as soon as you got, like, my thing was this. If they had decided to not tell, then I'm cool. Like, okay, fine. Yeah. But then don't keep going back and forth about it and being all jumpy. Like either you're going to say it or you're not.
Well, it's clear that they're not experienced liars.
Yeah.
Like the rest of their family. Which, I mean, I guess is a good thing. Unless you start sticking your nose into their business and then are forced to lie.
No.
I sort of wish Ralph had just erased their memory and whatever, and maybe that was the thing they were trying to figure out if something happened, if they felt like I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting twist. Yeah,
or maybe just one of them, the memory was erased, and so it's like two conflicting stories, like something. Stefan is. It's like people are on to things, but they're just not on to things. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like they see that 2 + 2 = 4. 5 + 5 = 10. But then when they get down to like 10 + 10, they're like, okay, 19, and it's like, you're almost there, But listen, we know that in true Days form, this is all coming to head at that wedding. And so y'all might as well pull out your popcorn, kick the recliner back, and just wait for the ball to drop, because that's when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I hate that Johnny keeps blaming EJ. I'm like, EJ ain't got nothing to do with it, actually. So you got wrong information. EJ didn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, no, he didn't, but he could have undid it.
Well, he took advantage of the situation with Liam to use. I mean, he's involved now. Everyone's involved now that knows about it. You're all on the same playing field now.
Yeah, and Johnny made that point this week, is that even when Gabby finds out, it's not going to matter who knew what when. Yeah. It's going to matter that they knew and they did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So she is going to go scorched earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting because it'll be her on her. Well, I guess I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Stefan. Will it be her and Stefan after everyone, or will she end up with Stefan at the end, or will it be Gabby, sort of like you said, scorching the earth by herself on a rampage? Or something?
She doesn't need anybody to help her with that.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for Gabby to find out, and she turns into the Gabby Hernandez that we know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it might as well be a scene from Carrie. That's what it's about to give.
With a wedding dress instead of a prom dress.
And I don't know. Sometimes I'm looking at Lee like, is this how you want to spend the rest of your life?
I know.
Always worrying like what she feels about or how she feels about Stefan.
And also, like, a marriage license is not going to stop that.
No.
You're still going to be around each other all the time. It's not like that's going to make, that's not going to strengthen Stefan's conditioning by you guys having a marriage license.
I will say this. I sometimes wish that I know we have loyalty to couples, but sometimes I wish fans would just allow them to be partnered with someone else.
Yeah.
Like, I know the push is for Gabby and Stefan, but I kind of I like seeing them not together.
Yeah.
And maybe in 10 years, maybe something happens. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like sometimes shows are so afraid to not make that the end goal.
Yep.
That it's just kind of like, well, we know they're just going to probably end up together. But I mean, could we just not just have Gabby and Lee together and Stefan and Chloe?
And it's like, honestly, if the quote unquote the alternative couple has chemistry, you just got to write for them. Yeah. Like we talked about before, how sometimes when we see these sort of triangles and you could telegraph that the third person is a stand-in, and it's like, okay, we see the writing on the wall here, but when you actually write and give this new couple their credit and their due, I don't mind Stefan with Chloe. I like them together.
Yeah, but remember what you guys are talking about. That was the original situation,
right?
With Chloe and Steffi and Gabin. That was what you guys are talking about right now. That was the original situation with them. Gabby was not in that equation.
Well, I don't know. I felt like they were going to do Gabby, and because he's.
No, because they hadn't even switched out, because Brandon wasn't even playing the role at the time.
Right. But
they were still in the middle of switching out actors. That was not in their plan at that time.
Well, we're now here revisiting, so I'm cool with how things are right now. But I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, and it's gonna drop. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, it's gonna parada ka.
Yeah.
And that's it with that storyline.
Yeah,
we are just moving right along. I love it. Just a reminder, everyone, before we get into our tidbit, make sure you guys are following us on all social media platforms listed right here. So please make sure you go and follow us there. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, take a listen to us on your favorite podcast stations in case you can't watch us live. Also, make sure you buy our merch, please. All right. Now let's get into tidbits. Kristen and Brady. Exactly. All right.
It is what it is.
Told you guys it's a softening. It's happening.
Well, it's just no. It's just one of those things where it's just like, Kristen, you're too strong of a woman to be this strung out over a man. Brady ain't all that. And Eric Marsoff, that's not to be confused with you. I mean, you all that in a bag of chips, and I'll give you an Oreo cookie too. But I'm just saying, Brady ain't all this to be going through all this over.
Yeah.
Like, just worry about being a mom to Rachel instead of, trying to shack up with Brady. And like, how do we jump from, oh, he seen me in a different light to let's go make love? It's like, slow your roll. He still don't like you. Yeah. What do y'all think? Perfect. We can move on. All right. Yeah. So, Sonny, Leo, Chad, Stephanie, Alex.
Yeah.
Another writing on the wall, Leo.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to hand it to Leo, though. He is trying to find a job.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'm liking Leo in this.
Yeah.
Just not what's being telegraphed. Yeah.
Oh, they do have chemistry, but need a better storyline. Okay, that's in reference to Kristen and Brady. Sorry.
Really? Because it could be in reference to this. These people too.
Sorry, these are all delayed ones regarding Kristen and.
Really, they don't seem like it.
They seem like it. Well, we talked about this last. I'm curious, Tony, what your take, because we talked about this last week in terms of we were like, okay, Leo and Sonny, we like them both, but we're tired. I know for me, we talked about, I'm specifically tired of the Will and Sonny storyline being another affair. Mm-hmm. This is what, 3 or 4 between them in the last 10 years that they've been together on and off. It's like, we were like, let's bring in another gay person. Let's let Leo and Sonny be friends and make that the storyline or something interesting with them as friends. But I'm just not down with the whole, we're now gonna, or who knows? We don't know, no spoiler free, but this is what the writing on the wall is looking like. That Leo and Sonny are coming together in some sort of way that is slightly romantic. We don't know what that is yet. But
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Leo and Sonny just being good Judies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, we've gotten past him accusing Sonny and framing him and all this kind of stuff. Now y'all are just good Judies in Salem.
Yeah,
looking for boys together. It's like you see what they're doing, which is. I asked this question. In order to keep Will and Sonny together, are we okay with a Will recast?
Actually, I'd be okay with that if Chandler did not want to come back. I'm also okay with him just not being around.
Yeah,
I'm fine with Sonny and Salem by himself.
But they need to frame it better. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Write it. Like, it's fine if he's away. Like, give Sonny something else to do. He doesn't need to. He can visit Will on the weekends. We can get phone calls. We can do that and make him and Leo go on a different adventure or a different storyline. It doesn't.
I would say this. I would be okay with this. I would be okay with keeping the character of Will, keeping him away, bringing him, back home for like extended periods of time.
Yeah.
But I would rather see them continue to build their relationship through Zooms, FaceTimes, quick visits, rather than these phone calls of, what? You can't come home? But it's important to, like I rather see a long distance relationship work.
Yeah.
with them too, seeing as how they've been through so much together.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I would rather see that. If they really don't want to recast Will and they want to keep Chandler, then just pop up a Zoom, boom, 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 and then, they have a conversation and everything. And then maybe even, Will kind of approves of like Leo and them being friends and they kiki about that and all this, you know what I mean? Like,
and also, right, whenever Sonny isn't there, when he's off for 2 weeks or something, and he just came back from visiting Will, and they went on a vacation, write it so that it's supporting their relationship. Yeah.
Yes. Patrick TV said they could simply just have Brock Kelly play Will. Done.
Okay, I'm not terribly mad at that.
I mean, I'm still mad at the Evan Christian storyline. They could have kept him.
Well, they left that open. I mean,
that's open-ended. That's
all right. EJ, Sister Mary Moira, and Ava. I could not stop laughing when EJ kept saying Sister Auntie.
I know. It was,
Or was it Sister Auntie or Auntie Sister?
I forget. I forget which one.
Either way, I was like, it ain't Aunt Mary. It's not. It's I don't know. It's just fun. And I also realized this is the first time we're seeing Stacey play Sister Mary Moira, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Eileen did it for the
for Beyond Salem. Yeah. I'm curious to know how Stacey feels about playing Sister Mary Moira.
She did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Listen, it's so eerie that Stacey and Eileen have the same vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
But you can clearly, you can tell a difference because they're two very distinct people. But in playing these roles, I've commended Stacey for knowing the essence of these characters and really being able to portray them, but still being true to Stacey.
Like honestly, the fact that you just said this is her first time, and it made us all think of like, wait, is it? Because we know we've seen Sister Mary Moira over the last few years, but you're right. It was Eileen in those roles, and it was like, oh, you're right, because it doesn't. At this point, for me, it's not registered. I'm not registering a difference of. To me, it's really just the character we're seeing now. And Stacey was great. Also, love that we're getting. With the addition of Susan's in her-ness in her family, we're getting seeing EJ. We're seeing EJ in these sort of new lights that we're not used to him seeing. We're seeing him as the mama's boy. We're now seeing him sort of kowtow to his aunt, who he has some respect for and is a little afraid of. And there's, it's interesting to see that side of EJ, which we don't get a lot. We don't see him like that with anyone else besides Susan and now Sister Mary Moira. So
I'm sorry. I still have to say I'm still very upset that they killed Susan, but I keep thinking that she's not really dead.
Look, until we
don't think she's dead either. Yeah.
Until we have a body, I'm not going to rule anything out. Ava clearly survived.
Clearly.
Yeah. So
and no shade towards Tamara Braun, but the rustle in the bushes, I just kept saying, "Come on, Susan! Come on, Susan! Come on, Susan!" And when it was her, I was literally like, "Oh man!"
I'm just assuming Susan's alive, just in general. That
shout out to the fan who did a screenshot of the car going over the cliff. And then saying, "You see that right there? I think that's Susan. She jumped out."
There was something, I felt like they did it on purpose, so we will get the wheel for people who are paying closer attention of like, oh, like something happened there. Yeah.
Oh look. Well, according to fans, look at this. Everyone thinks same. They don't think Susan is dead. I mean, every time I see Ava, I just like in my head, I'm like. Telepathically saying, "Where are you keeping Susan?"
Yeah.
That's kind of what
Ava has left the building.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I saw her Friday that I was like, oh, okay, she really is alive and not a figment of EJ's imagination. But what is she doing? Because I felt like I might have tuned out towards the end.
So I think she just now wants to kill him in general. She just wants to, yeah. That's her goal now, is just to basically hurt and kill EJ. Yeah.
Rational thought has gone bye-bye.
Yeah. She's now officially, well, she was before, but gone over the deep end.
She's rolling in the deep.
Yeah.
All right, Xander, Gwen, Maggie, Bonnie, Justin, Roman.
Okay.
Y'all go. And somebody said that Redux, the company, is Xander spelled backwards.
I didn't know that either. I was like, that name has been bugging me the whole time. I honestly thought when they first said it, I honestly thought they were saying rednecks, and I was like, oh man, they're really like going in here and making.
No, the only reason that we knew that is because Victor said the same thing.
Yeah,
he said something like, "Why would rednecks need pharmaceuticals or something?"
I was so thrown off. It took me a few episodes of them saying it to realize they were saying rednecks, and then it wasn't until someone said it online. It was Xander backwards. So I was like, oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I don't know if that's going to be a plot point coming up, but
yeah.
I mean, give it up to Judy. They're giving her something really interesting to do by playing this PTSD. The stuff with Roman, I did kind of chuckle.
Poor Roman.
She just went, good nature Roman got up and kind of shook it off, and then the bleeding, he had the gash on his forehead. I know it was supposed to be funny, but it just, the way they played it, it was kind of, I had to chuckle a few times.
I will say, it's interesting though that I feel like Bonnie, for me, is the first time I've ever seen someone have PTSD after a kidnapping. I've never seen it with Marlena, Hope, like all these people that have been kidnapped and returned from
they
dead.
got used to it.
I mean, I guess, but Bonnie is the only one that is like, clowns, I see clowns. The thing that I'm sad about with this storyline is I really wanted Xander to just say, I was desperate. Ava offered me a lot of money. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I was the clown.
Yeah.
That's it. That's because it's like, now you really ruined everything, especially since she figured it out. She figured it out. And now Bonnie, hearing him in the cold and all the stuff that Gwen is doing for him to help him cover his tracks. And she's like, it was you. And I'm like, Lord, here we go. And Sarah is the female Eric.
Yeah.
She is going to blow up and see red in 2.5.
Yep.
Oh, not just her.
Oh, yeah. And especially even with Justin being like, we're going to sue them for wrongful termination. I'm like, Xander, just give
digging.
It up, honey. Give it up.
Just keep digging, and then just when people start coming for you, just bury yourself in the hole.
And he's always been on decent terms with Justin, and are we getting a only person around for Xander is Gwen now? We're getting sort of them coming back in a way, coming back together.
I mean, she wouldn't be opposed to it.
And the only reason why Gwen is doing all this is because she still loves Xander.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't like that she's involved because it keeps her hopeful. And it's just kind of like, well, did y'all just want them to be together anyway? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. Well, everybody, that was the week of days. And now we're going to go into our segment. And we're going to start with mine, which is obviously my favorite, which is Tony's Official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
All right. Now listen. Y'all know I loves a good cat fight. I loves a good shady moment. And this moment was shady. Oh yes. Yeah. When Sloane said, "Oh hi, Mrs. Cook Kyriakis," the manager, I was like, "Not slithery Sloane."
Yeah.
I loved it, and it was a little bit of a back and forth between Sloane and Nicole. But I absolutely loved it. So my Three Snaps Award goes to Sloane, played by Jessica Serfati. Is that, I believe that's how?
Safferty, I think.
Yeah.
Safferty. Yeah.
Well, we just gonna call her Jessica. Jessica, welcome to Salem, girl. You got Tony's official Three Snaps Award.
Oh snap!
Ooh, this is gonna be trouble because I gotta handle everything. And we don't have a caption that because Michael Mattis isn't here. But guess what we do have?
Those were the days.
This week's Those Were Days, I'm taking you back to December 6, 1999, where we had Nancy meet Chloe for the first time. This is a snapshot, sort of behind the scenes, but this is sort of the scene. That's what they look like in that scene together. You can go look it up. I think it's still sort of online. But this was sort of the beginning of, I wouldn't say the softening of Nancy's character, but the pivoting from being just like scheming Craig's wife to giving her a little bit more and introducing the fact that she had a daughter who she gave up and is in foster care. But yeah, we got Nadia out of this storyline. So yeah, December 6, 1999, where Chloe met her daughter. Nancy met her daughter Chloe for the first time.
And that was
Those were the days.
We'll Never Get Old. And now it's time for
It's a gift.
And next week's It's a Gift is a shout out to any students who of Catholic descent, Catholic school, who forever have the trauma of listening to a nun do this. This is the type of nun that made Catholic school kids want to run to public school.
Yeah.
What a...
It's perfect. See, I don't see Stacy, or I just see Sister Mary Moira there.
Yeah, right. No, they really did a good job. And that was
It's a Gift.
All right. And now
Yes.
Oh no.
A live one.
News and gossip.
First thing we're starting off with, we had some casting news over the week for all you $1 Million Listings LA fans. Josh Flagg, who stars on the show, will be appearing on Days in the coming new year. May, I believe, his episodes air.
Yeah,
May 2023.
Yeah.
We don't know how long he'll be on the show or who he's playing, if he's playing himself or a new character. We don't know. We do know he is mixing it up with, Alex and Stephanie here. So yeah, all you $1 Million Listing fans, seems like we're getting a little bit some synergy here that we've sort of joked about and talked about here, some Peacock synergy between the networks. And yeah, so all you $1 Million Listing fans, you'll get to see Josh Flagg on the show in May of this coming year. Next up, we want to offer some heartfelt condolences to Mary Beth Evans. Recently, she put it out there, acknowledged her mom had passed earlier this month, I believe. And she put up on Instagram a little tribute to her mom, who she seems to credit with a lot of her like creativity and personality. So her mom, Diane. So yeah, condolences to Mary Beth Evans and her family on the passing of her mom. So yeah, go check that out if you want to read kind of what she says about her mom and her tribute there. Next up, our good friend Lindsay Godfrey sat down with, make sure I get this right, Lifestyle Mag TV, and did a really great interview and insight into mental health and her issues with it and struggles with it and just her take on it. Please go check it out. She talks about, again, her history with it, the destigmatization. And she also talked about which young sort of pop star inspired her to sort of come out and talk about mental illness. And you'll get to see who she names there. So go check that interview out at Lifestyle Mag TV on Instagram. Next up, an old friend of ours, Miss Rachel Melvin. Actually, she just recently got wed. It's her and her new husband there, Kevin Barrett. They actually got married in October, but she is just now sort of releasing the pictures. And one hell of an amazing story. Go check it out. Just to give you a gist, they own some property in Joshua Tree. They were readying their property to have the wedding on, and everything that needs to happen there. Took them about a year to do it. And 2 or 3 days before the wedding, they got flash floods and their house is covered in mud. And she just sort of chronicles the story of doing the cleanup, having to sort of reckon with that, and still being able to go on and sort of have the wedding of their dreams and how they coped with that. And it's just, she chronicles it she's an amazing storyteller, and just kind of putting it all out there, what her and Kevin went through, and just perseverance about what really matters and when you're doing stuff like this and the craziness of a wedding. So go check it out on her Instagram at the Rachel Melvin. Last but not least, we want to remind you of the celebrity VIP dinner that Spectrum Celebrity Events is doing Friday, March 3rd, 2023, this coming year, 5:30 to 7:30 here in Burbank, California. It's limited to about 12 members, and it is a private VIP dinner. You'll have dinner with Carson Boatman, Colton Little, Christopher Sean, and maybe a few others. Maybe you'll see a few of us there that night as well. But if you're interested, go to spectrumcelebrityevents.com for tickets and also information on how to become a gold member.
Yep. Solid gold. That's it. Anytime someone says gold member, I think of that song. All right, y'all. And that was news and gossip. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to find out what is coming up. What is coming up next on Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives.
If you're Sister Mary Moira, you think she would be okay with something like this? How would she be?
That's an image. Would you care to take this party to the shower?
I am feeling pretty dirty.
Rachel. That's an image.
And be sure to watch as we share our favorite holiday scenes.
What you don't know is the scene originally. It had a different ending.
On Days of Our Lives, 12 Days of Christmas. Christmas Day on Peacock.
Ooh, I wonder if why are you covering your face?
You don't kiss a nun.
What?
Don't kiss a nun. She's having some Catholic PTSD.
You don't even hug a nun.
Go on, Tony. Go. Oh God, too funny.
I wonder if we won't get a Christmas episode, but we'll just get like the 12 days of Christmas.
I was trying, hopefully I'll have some more info next week on that. I was trying to find some information if it was a substitute or if it was an additional special. I can't figure it out yet. Hopefully,
I think it's an addition, or maybe it'll be tagged on at the end of the episode.
Because we did get this year, which was great, which sometimes we get and sometimes not, depending on your local channel. We got the Thanksgiving episode non-interrupted on Thanksgiving, not the day before. Yes. So, I'm assuming we'll get a Christmas episode on Christmas, and maybe this will be
Christmas is on a weekend this year, so
that's right. Okay, so maybe maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe this will come out on the Sunday, and then we'll have maybe the Christmas episode on Monday.
We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe.
It is 12 days of Christmas, so it should be starting soon.
I just want to see any reactions to that. No. And I'm kind of I just gave Sloane the 3 Snaps Award. However, I don't want to see this as a relationship. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just okay with them having fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that clip was giving me sort of fun, Eric, which might be the shining spot in this. I still don't know how I feel about them together.
Throwing a pity party.
Yeah. Oh. That's an image. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That has been Dishin Days for this week. We will be back next week, and next week will be our last show of 2022 as we head off into celebrating the holidays. We're just going to take a small little break, but hey, we'll be back in January. So stay tuned for that. But before we head out, Justin, what is your one social media platform that people can find you?
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Just that one?
Yep.
Just one. Speaking of just one, Araceli, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
Only on Twitter?
Only on Twitter, unless it explodes.
Interesting. Well, you can find, in case you want to find out what Michael Mattis is doing while he's not here at Dishin Days, y'all can head over to his Instagram and Twitter at ML Mattis. You can find me on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, at Lounging with Tony. And of course, you can find us all on all social media platforms. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on Twitter. So feel free, reach out, say hi. We would love to hear from you. Until then, you guys, thank you so much for joining us live here or later, if you're watching us later. We will be back to serve up a full dish of this coming week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.